Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are across this beautiful blue and green planet of ours. I'm Legal Vices, and welcome to my channel. Here we are again, back for another day. God, I never rest. Uh, how are we all doing? Well, let's start with our daily check-in. Where are we all from here? Shlomo, greeting from Haifa. Greetings to Haifa. Where are we all at today? All righty. Well, I'm obviously here in Korea. It is 9:01 p.m. on a rainy Tuesday evening. All righty. Germantown, Ohio, Missouri, Mumbai. Welcome to Mumbai. My Beavers unit and my other mods. You guys are awesome. You rock. Guys, please let the mods know how much you appreciate them. Canada, Australia, where are we at? West Coast from Norway. Nice. All right. Well, as we continue to check in here, again, greetings to all of you and welcome. And we're all getting our greetings to each other out of the way. While we're doing so, I guess I should just mention that today's particular legal advice, we are going to do some hammering. And that calls for a delicious añejo tequila margarita rimmed with Himalayan pink salt. It's a tequila kind of night, guys. We're going to come hard. God, I always hate saying that. We are going to be bashing people with heavy opinions. I'm going to have to think of something better to say than we're going to come hard at someone. My Beavers unit wants a taste. Well, I'll take a taste just here for you again. This is where we're going to start. And unfortunately, me rushing in as usual to make the time on the stream, I have left all my other booze back there. This is all I got to get me through the night. Well, to get me through the night that we're together. All right. God, that's good. Damn, I make good cocktails. Anyway, all right, little background and a little, store shopkeeping here. If any of you were wondering where yesterday's conversation with Danny On, candidate for a Salt Lake County, Utah district attorney, went, it's still there. It's gone private for a bit because I made like 3 small little minor edits to it. And it usually takes YouTube about 2 hours to process the edits. This has been going on for fucking ever. God knows when this edit update is going to end. But as soon as this update, it'll go back live again. It's just one of those things that YouTube does. When it processes the edits, it just... I assume 2 hours was a long time, but we are into hours upon hours of updating time right now. So it'll come back as soon as it's updated. So don't panic. Nothing out of the ordinary. All righty. Anything else we need to get out of the way? No, other than welcome to everybody that is here. Please, please, please like and subscribe. That's all I ask of you, is just a quick little click on the like. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Unfortunately, due to spamming and things, we've got a subscribers only mode, but you only have to be a subscriber for, I think I said it for 2 minutes, and then you can comment just long enough to keep the bots out. And hopefully, if there's no further spamming, we don't have to go to a slow chat. But we're good. We're all adults. We're all good, reasonable people and responsible. So, yes, yeah, I broke 20,000 again. That was due to a DUI guy being on here the other day to talk about him getting what did he call it? Scambered, turded, whatever he said it was, where he got roped in by a couple of fraudulent alleged friends, childhood friends of Amber Heard. But yeah, so I got a couple of pop-ins from him, so we're doing good. With that, all right, here's where we're going to go today. Again, the weekend, it was a busy weekend, and no trigger warnings today that I'm aware of. so we're good. It was a busy weekend for the press. Of course, the weekend is when all the crazy stuff comes out on the internet and across the mainstream media. Big Dragon wants a cocktail. Hey, anyone that comes to Korea is welcome to have a cocktail with me. But there's two main articles that I want to hit today. I can't trim this thing when I drink because it just gets all messed up anyway. All right, so the two main articles I want to hit today. One is an amazing article by a great author and lawyer, a fellow law tuber, Natalie Whittingham-Burrell. It's an amazingly powerful article titled "The Jury Had No Choice But to Rule Against Amber Heard," thus the title of my video. It's a solid article done by a lawyer, done by an accomplished lawyer and a well-respected lawyer. Absolutely amazingly powerful article. We'll get into that one. And then after that, we'll go into Crazy Town once again for the remainder of the day. And the particular type of crazy that we want to focus on is our old friend, Dr. Nosferatu. Dr. Nosferatu, Dr. Eyebrow, Dr. Creepy, whatever you want to call him. He's back. He wrote an article for Newsweek. And in that article, he talks about the fact that he testified in the Heard Depp trial, and the backlash has been horrific. So we're going to get into the horrific backlash that Dr. Nosferatu suffered as a result of testifying. And he said, I mean, among some crazy stuff and some normal stuff and some woe is me stuff, he said something that really pissed me off. So Dr. Spiegel, whoever you want to call, whatever you want to call him, we're going to talk about this article that he wrote for Newsweek. And then if we have some time and if you want, there's just a bunch of other shit that we can talk about. Wow. Let's get into it. And again, please like and subscribe. I've got to learn to do my grifting here. That'll make things quite nice here for us as we go along. All right. Bring this screen up. Bang. Here we are. All right. This is where we're going to start the night with Natalie Whittingham-Burrell, who is Natalie Lawyer Chick on Twitter and YouTube. An amazing lawyer, an amazing person, sharp as a tack, and very, very pointed in her arguments. This is this is an article that's published here on Medium because reportedly she was asked by a major news source to write the article, and then after reading the article, I guess they decided they didn't want to publish it. So she published it herself, and it's making the rounds, and it is a big article. She comes in hard, fast, and just continuously with the punches to the entire blogosphere, the entire media sphere, the entire YouTube sphere of anyone that could possibly remotely support Amber Heard. Now, what are the arguments we've had so far regarding the verdict? One, it was misogynistic. You know, it's only men can support this verdict. Wrong. Whittingham-Burrell is a woman. It's a conservative thing. It's a conservative conspiracy against women. Wrong. As far as I know, Natalie Whittingham-Burrell is a liberal. So here we have a liberal woman who is telling the world that the jury had no choice but to rule for Amber Heard. Well, how does that work? How can that combat the narrative that the MSM, that the mainstream media is trying to portray? Well, she's going to get in on that with us. So let's kick this off with reading the article. There's the lovely couple there. Now, a little bit of a background here. In examining the law and facts, the reason that the jury found in favor of Johnny Depp is clear. Amber Heard was not telling the truth. I'm sorry, I am not a biologist. I'm assuming that she is a female because she identifies as she, her, and looks to me as if she is presenting female. Apologies. So, Amber Heard was not telling the truth. That's the baseline that we're looking at here. Before the trial began, I paid little attention to the fact that Johnny Depp was suing his ex-wife, Amber Heard, for defamation of character outside of media reports. Same with me. So I didn't pay any attention to what was going on in England. I just remember getting the trial information, getting this information that she had filed for the restraining order and they were getting divorced. And I thought, okay, he does lots of drugs. He does lots of alcohol. There's probably a good chance that he could go off and smack his wife around. It wouldn't have been a stretch for me to believe that. I found Amber Heard to be initially believable and credible, which seems to be what the author of this article here, Natalie Whittingham-Burrell, has begun with as well. I had the impression that Depp and Heard were involved in a toxic and dysfunctional relationship. I saw pictures of bruises to Heard's face and assumed that Depp was just a growing list of male celebrities exposed for being abusive at the peak of the Me Too movement. We share that commonality. That's how I walked into this as well. Like, okay, here's another person that's jumping on this. Here's what's happening. And here's what's going to come out of it. Johnny Depp is going to be canceled. He's going to be found to have been an abuser, and that's going to be it. So where did this all change for Natalie Lawyer Chick? When the trial began, I myself was immersed in a double homicide trial. I didn't have time to pay attention to this saga. As the media attention around the trial grew, my subscribers to my YouTube channel, Natalie Lawyer Chick, began to request that I cover this case. So when my trial was done, I began to catch up on Depp v. Heard. The entire trial was fascinating, but not for the reasons that I expected. I concur. It's exceptionally difficult for a celebrity to win a defamation case. That is correct. Like all other litigants, Depp had to prove that Heard defamed him by a preponderance of the evidence. However, as a celebrity, Depp had the additional burden of proving by clear and convincing evidence that Heard acted with actual malice in defaming him. So that's not just having to prove that there was defamation. You also have to prove that it was malicious. And the jury needed to have a firm belief that Heard made the statements with knowledge that they were false or with a willful disregard for the truth. All right. That's where we start. There's a huge burden on Johnny Depp in this case. He has to prove a lot of things. And this is the important one, with knowledge that the statements were false or willful disregard for the truth. That's, they're false, or they might or might not be false, and you don't give a damn what happens. You're going after them. So Heard's credibility was crucial in deciding whether she defamed Depp. In reaching their decision, the jury was instructed to determine whether she was credible or not based on several factors, including whether her testimony was inconsistent with or contradicted other evidence. That's how we judge truthfulness. That's how we judge veracity. That's how we judge someone's credibility. Do their statements match the evidence? Do their statements match up with other statements? Do their statements contradict previous statements? Do their statements lack any foundation or support whatsoever? So that's how we decide whether someone is credible or not. We weigh what they're telling us against everything else we know, and we decide whether or not we can believe them. Based on the rubric provided to the jury and the facts actually presented at trial. That is a key issue. Based on the rubric provided to the jury and the facts actually presented at trial, I came to a jarring conclusion. Amber Heard was not credible. The actual evidence presented at trial. That's the thing that Amber Heard, that Elaine, that all of the Heard supporters have been going off and saying, is that there's so much evidence that was suppressed. There's mountains of evidence out there that make it so we couldn't, that we're not allowed into trial, to make it so that we can't see the whole picture. There are things that were in evidence in England that couldn't be mentioned in the US trial. But that's not what juries look at. Juries look at what's provided to them, for them, and in front of them. They look at the evidence as submitted to them. So the evidence in reaching the decision must be based on the facts and evidence actually presented at trial. Natalie looked at these and came to the jarring conclusion that Amber Heard was simply not credible. Now, for example, Heard's allegations that Depp trashed their penthouse and caused bruising on her face in May of 2016 was contradicted by testimony of 3 police officers, body camera footage, and the front desk manager of the residence. None of these witnesses appear to have any motive to testify in favor of Depp. Well, there we are. That's one example of this inability for Amber Heard to come off as credible. She testifies to this absolute beatdown and trashing of the penthouse. Not just 3 police officers, but over 2 separate visits by police officers. The body camera footage. Yeah, and these people testified that they saw none of this. They saw no evidence that a crime had been committed. They saw no evidence of any bruising, no evidence of anything. That goes directly to Amber Heard's credibility. Natalie continues, that is only a microcosm of the inconsistencies and contradictions throughout the trial. That is absolutely true. The inconsistencies just piled on one after the other after the other. And I have several examples of major errors, not only inconsistency of statements, but inconsistency of evidence. As the trial unfolded, it became clear either most of the witnesses were lying or Amber Heard was. This was not an issue of memory. It was an issue of honesty. And that's where we're kind of stuck. It's not a he said, she said. As Camille and as having a senior moment, I'm having a senior moment. Johnny Depp's male lawyer. Yeah. Crap. Why the hell can't I think of his name? I may have consumed some tequila before this as well. Anywho, as Amber Heard's lawyers testified, it's a First Amendment thing. It's the freedom of speech to say whatever you want. Chew. Thank you very much, apple pie. I'm an idiot. That just totally slipped my mind there for a second. Amber Heard argues it's a First Amendment deal. You have the freedom to say what you want. You have the freedom to express how did she couch it? Explain her reality, explain her fact. But as Camille and Ben Chu said, it's not a he said, she said. It's a she said versus every other witness that was presented said. It wasn't, is Johnny Depp lying or is Amber Heard lying? It was, is Amber Heard lying or is literally every other witness lying? It's not an issue of memory, it's an issue of honesty. Heard's attorneys argued that these contradictions didn't matter. Contradictions always matter in the reality of a jury trial. In the idea, even a bench trial with a judge, contradictions always matter. They should always cause you to question the veracity, the credibility of a witness. If someone contradicts themselves, that should be an issue. If two witnesses contradict each other, that should be a cause for concern to see which one is more reliable. If someone contradicts the evidence, then it's a do we believe what we hear or believe what we see issue. They told the jury, this is Heard's attorneys again, they told the jury that even if they did not believe Heard for some of the incidents, but believed Heard for at least one of the incidents, Depp must lose. However, believing Heard for even one of the incidents was difficult because there were inconsistencies in all of the incidents. That also is a very important point to make. There were consistencies in everything she had to say. These contradictions were so pervasive that they appeared to be the result of purposeful deception. I'll say it. They were so inconsistent, she was a liar. And she got caught many times, some of which were mentioned in the closing arguments. Others were just left to hang out there as we witnessed them happen. That the jury awarded Depp over $10 million in damages is proof that they felt strongly about the heinousness of those falsehoods. There are no perfect victims. Even for the most credible people will have inconsistencies here or there. That's the thing. Yeah, this whole narrative that now if anyone has any problems, if they're not a personal witness, they can never go forward. That's bullshit. That's utter BS. A few inconsistencies are to be expected. I mean, when you're getting the hell beat out of you, you aren't expected to remember absolutely every single detail. I mean, it actually is, it's detrimental to the credibility of a witness if they remember every single absolutely irrelevant and unimportant detail. At 7:15, I went and did this. I stood over here and I was looking at this book. I was reading this passage. And 2 minutes later, this happened. If you get that detail, you weren't looking at the clock when all this was going down. And that's one thing that I find, especially in my job, where I interview people regarding ship collisions and things like that, where you have to interview crew members to see how two ships happen to collide with each other. The witnesses that are more reliable are those that say, okay, I was doing my job. It was like this, and around this time this happened. And when you say, well, okay, well, how long was it between the time you did this and the time you did this? If they say, I don't really know, that's more credible than it took exactly 36 seconds for me to do A and then to do B. So minor inconsistencies are to be actually expected. What happened in Depp v. Heard was not reflective of the insignificant inconsistencies of genuine victims. Heard's credibility issues were far outside the norm, and to ignore them would be dishonest. Therefore, to believe all women as a solution to the problem with physical and sexual abuse is alarming, dangerous, and counterproductive. Absolutely agree with that as well. It's not even rational to say believe all women at all times. Listen to all women is absolutely viable. Listen to all women is something that we should be doing. Listen to all people, men and women alike. Listen to all people and analyze. That's much more believable, viable, and productive than believe all women all the time, regardless. This is best explained if we outright state the inverse. Disbelieve all men. And that's an interesting way of looking at it. That's a very, very good way of looking at it. By saying believe all women, you are saying the inverse, which is disbelieve all men. Not all men are liars. Not all women tell the truth. Vice versa is also true. Not all men tell the truth, and not all women are liars. That's why it's important not to believe all X. It's important to listen and analyze, listen and inspect. This framework asks for the public, the media, and the courts to disregard the presumption of innocence. Also true, by saying the inverse, that you are to disbelieve all men and thereby believe all women, you are asking that you start with the presumption that the man is guilty. Bullshit. Absolutely unacceptable, absolutely improper, and ungrounded. The problem with allegations of sexual abuse being swept under the rug cannot be solved with treating those accused of abuse as though they are guilty without the accused being given an opportunity to be heard in a court of law. Historically, when the popular zeitgeist has coalesced around an automatic assumption of guilt, the consequences have been disastrous and irreversible. In 1955, when a white woman accused Emmett Till, a 14-year-old black boy, of sexually harassing her, Till was kidnapped, tortured, and murdered. It took until 2017 for that woman to admit that her allegations were false. We still see the effects of that case today. She goes on to state that I have represented both men and women who have been wrongfully accused of abuse. That's the other thing that Amber's lawyers would have you believe, that the wrongful accusation of abuse almost never happens. I submit that it's far more common than you would even believe. While most abuse victims are truthful, wrongful accusations do happen. It is only through the presumption of innocence and a fair trial that the accused has any hope of clearing their name. Instead of asking the public to believe all women, we should ask for accusations of abuse to be taken seriously, investigated thoroughly, and for the accused to be given a fair trial. Exactly what I'm saying. Listen, or as she said, take the accusations of abuse seriously, listen, investigate or analyze thoroughly, and for the accused to be given a fair trial. Now that also includes the idea, at least for me, I wouldn't put any words into Ms. Whittingham-Burrell's mouth, but also in giving is part of the investigating thoroughly and giving the accused a fair trial would include listening and analyzing what the other side says. The media response to this trial has been fraught with concern that this case will have a chilling effect on women seeking help. It may, but not for the reasons the media says it will. This case will have a chilling effect on abuse victims because anyone who watched the trial learned that Amber Heard may have deliberately created tales of horrific abuse to gain leverage in her divorce. That's one thing that the mainstream media doesn't even speculate on. Doesn't even speculate about the merest possibility that there could even be a remote hint that Amber Heard may have deliberately created these stories of abuse to gain leverage in her divorce proceedings. Potential victims may be afraid of being stereotyped and disbelieved, not because Heard told the truth and wasn't believed, but because after having her claims fully vetted in a court of law, Heard may have lied in such an egregious way and given ammunition to bad faith actors seeking to discredit true victims. That's the part I feel most strongly about in this article. I don't think Johnny Depp winning this trial will cause victims to not come forward because they're going to be afraid that they won't be believed because we just believe white, powerful men. I believe it's exactly what she's saying in this article, that they might be afraid to come forward because we will assume that they are lying like Amber Heard lied. That's a powerful statement, and I think that is the far greater risk in what Amber Heard did. Amber Heard says that Johnny Depp and the jury set back this whole Me Too and women's movement back. She did. She set this back. Because of her and because of her lies, I think there's going to be women out there that are afraid to come forward because they're afraid that they are going to be disbelieved because Amber lied. And goodbye, casual. I've put up with your shit long enough. The first person I've had to block. Don't be an asshole. Hate to do that to you, casual, but you were being pointlessly abusive for no reason whatsoever. All right. Moving right along. Yuck. That's sad. I thought we could all be adults in here. Guess not. The media spectacle in this case began in 2016 when Heard, accompanied by her publicist, again, who brings their publicist to secretly file for a temporary restraining order? Ugh. I mean, that just reeks of stupidity and dishonesty. I didn't want this to get out. I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't want anyone to learn of this. So she brings her publicist. That's bullshit. In the trial, the jury heard evidence which implied that Heard herself or a member of her team may have alerted the paparazzi giant when she sought the protective order. In addition, the jury was treated to Heard directly asking them on the stand to look to the media coverage surrounding the case. That's the point. That's a good... old Elaine, she's running around... Well, she was running around the talk show circuit for a very brief period of time, arguing that, they were influenced by the social media. They had their phones. They weren't sequestered. They had a 10-day break. They had a 3-day weekend. They were clearly contaminated by the evidence. Throwing the jury under the bus like that, accusing them without evidence whatsoever of breaching their judicial requirements, is a ridiculously dangerous and heinous thing to do, especially when it was Amber Heard's team and her experts that came out in the examination, and they were the ones that told the jury that the world was against Amber Heard. They were the ones that told the jury that Amber Turd was trending. They were the ones that told the jury that there's this big online campaign to discredit their client. They were the ones that mentioned this. This is a completely inappropriate request in a trial where the jury was ordered not to watch any of the media coverage. To now allege that the jury was tainted by the media coverage, where Heard herself may have initiated the media circus and certainly improperly asked the jury to look to the media, is confounding. This also ignores that much of the mainstream media coverage surrounding this case was supportive of Heard. That's a good point. They only mention the bad. They don't mention that a lot of the mainstream media was actually pushing for Heard. Margarita. There has been no evidence that the media coverage influenced the jury. None. She's made the allegations. She hasn't backed it up with any evidence. There has been no evidence that the media coverage influenced the jury. However, there has been ample evidence in the trial itself that Heard made false and defamatory statements about Depp with actual malice. The jury had no choice but to find for her. Natalie Whittingham-Burrell. That is a strong article, a powerfully worded article from a liberal woman lawyer. It isn't some conservative white guy writing this. This is a liberal woman lawyer who is telling the mainstream media, telling Amber Heard, telling Amber Heard's counsel that the jury did their job. The jury acted appropriately and could not have reached any other decision than they did. I have a link to that article in the description if anybody wants to go and read it on their own. But in the meantime, while we're still here, while we've read that article, again, it's time to push for the likes, push for the subscribes. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with friends, neighbors, relatives, anywhere else, share it on Twitter, whatever. Get the word out that I'm here and I'm not going away, regardless of what this tool in chat was saying. I mean, people are asking, was the person blocked an Amber Heard supporter? I would like if there was an Amber Heard supporter in the audience. I have zero problems talking to an Amber Heard supporter. Because as I've said from the beginning, I was not a Johnny Depp supporter. I'm still actually not a Johnny Depp supporter. I believe Johnny Depp should have won. Why? Because I'm a supporter of truth. I'm a supporter of justice. I'm a supporter of honesty, the jury system, and the court system. As they say, it's not the perfect system, but it's the best there is. It's the best we've got. Now, to lighten it up a little bit, after you like and subscribe, damn it, push those buttons. We're going to get off into crazy town. We've had a nice quiet night here so far, just reading a good, strong, powerful argument. Now we get to get into a little bit into Dr. Crazy. Dr. Spiegel. Dr. Smeagol. Dr. Nosferatu. Dr. Eyebrows. Whatever you want to call him. What do you got here? Georgian Archer says, chat's on subscribers only to deal with bosses, legal vices only, just monitorized. Yeah, it's on subscribers only because it cuts down on the riffraff. This person that we just had to ban a minute ago is the first person that's ever been banned since I've been here. So it's not a thing. The mods are specifically instructed to be as lenient as possible. But when someone's just about disrupting the stream, throwing around epithets, slurring people, then, meh. Goldheart says, how about the Mad Doctor? We can call him the Mad Doctor. What? Yep, there's the other one, Dr. Doofensmertz. That's where we are. We're going to get into him because he's had a not so good time, apparently, since he testified. Can't imagine why. Taylor says, can't stop the grift. Hey, just grifting for likes and subscribes. That's all the grift I need. But if anybody throws donations at me, I am more than happy and grateful to accept them. And I would certainly never, ever turn them down. You've all been so incredibly generous in the past week or so that I've been monetized. It's been truly, truly heartfelt. And I'm not going to grub for donations, but I do accept pledges. But if you want to donate, hey, click the super chat button and go right ahead. All right. Oh, God dang it. I hope you didn't do that just because I just said that. I was just joking. Apparently there's another Dr. Spiegel that had better credentials. Did they pick the wrong one? That's the joke. Thank you so much for that super chat, by the way. The first of the evening. That's the joke that's been going around, or maybe it's not a joke going around, that perhaps they got the wrong one, because the other Dr. Spiegel is also a psychiatrist and did have better credentials and looked a little more presentable than our dear Dr. David R. Spiegel was. Mary A. in with a super sticker. Thanks. The second one of the evening. You're awesome. You can pledge my firstborn to you. She's 12 and annoying as heck. No thanks. I've got a 21-year-old. I don't need to do that teenage stuff again. This isn't The Witcher. We don't claim the law of surprises. Nikolai says, legal advice, would you make a video of your experience in SK? Yeah, I'm uploading a few videos of Korea life. They'll come out. Legal advices. Rule number 1 of chat, don't be a pointless asshole. Hope that wasn't directed at me. I'm an asshole, but I like to think I have a point sometimes. Soy in the house. Hey, thank you very much, Soy Mafia. Starting a GoFundMe for pastel repaint. This is wallpaper, biatch. This is expensive green silk wallpaper. This shit doesn't come cheap. But the house is on the market, and when I move, probably won't have green wallpaper. Loata McGannon. Is that right? Is that if I remember correctly, that's how we pronounce it? Loata? It's a crazy... Let me make a little click mark here. Awesome. It's crazy the spin that much of the mainstream media has put on this case. I agree with you. I'm for the truth and justice. Haven't seen the Pirates. Haven't even seen Pirates. Well, I mean, that's the thing is I as a lawyer, I don't fan anybody unless they're my client. I don't fanboy anybody. I want to know the truth. I didn't go into this going, oh, Amber Heard's a liar. Johnny Depp telling the truth. I said, I don't know. I wasn't there. I know what this side said. I know what that side said. And I want to see the evidence presented. I want to hear what the arguments are. I want to hear what the witnesses say, what the experts say. Then I'll make my decision. And I made my decision very early on that Amber Heard was uncredible. And that credibility issue is what ultimately damns you. Because and it's been brought up a lot in media these days that the Latin saying, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it's basically lie about one thing, lie about everything. If somebody lies about one thing, then you can discount them for everything else they've said, which is the exact opposite of what Amber Heard's lawyers were telling you to do. They're saying, okay, we have all of these things. Even if you only believe one thing, it wins. But if you only believe one thing, that means you thought everything else was bullshit. And if you think 99 things are bullshit, then that 100th thing has a very high probability of being bullshit as well. And even if it is true, the fact that you bullshitted on 99 other statements means that there's simply no way you can be believed on that other point. So the whole argument that, even if you disregard everything, if you only accept one thing that Amber Heard said is true, I mean, that argument to me is just straight up bullshit. If you lie to me about one thing, then fuck it, I don't have to believe anything you say. And that's sort of that's sort of my personal motto and how I live my life. I'll give anybody the benefit of the doubt. If they do something or say something, then I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they're telling the truth. If it seems like they're not, and they say, okay, I misunderstood or I misrepresented this, okay, I'll give you a freebie on that. But if you lie more than once to me about something for no good reason, then fuck it, I'm done with you. I will not believe anything else you say. Uh there, got that out of my system. I pledged my dog to you. She knocked over everything on my desk shortly before you went live. That's why I've got my two bulldogs out in the. I shut the door and lock them out in the living room every day because they're cool when they're around here, but whether they're sleeping or breathing or whatever, they just sit there and. Bulldogs are loud snorers and loud breathers. So yeah, you can keep your dog. I've got two of my own. Thank you for the donation, Maddie. You are awesome. More unbreaded havoc. Thank you for the super sticker. Always deeply appreciated. All right. Are we ready to go into Dr. Nutjob's article? $31, $29, $28, $23, $13, and $12. Are these lottery numbers? Are we? I don't know where that came from. I just saw numbers suddenly on my screen. If those are lottery numbers and we win, we have to share amongst all 481 of us, right? Oh, Rose says, I love the mason jar wine glass, Beaver. Oh my god, the handlebar mustache at Legal Vices. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that the mason jar wine glass. I'll tell you what, mine were shipped from the United States today. I will have my own mega pint glass in my hands, hopefully by this weekend. And that will be the only glass I ever drink out of from now on. I am going to own me a Johnny Depp mega pint mason jar wine glass. God, that's good. Oh, okay. Ages of kids. Well, perhaps you should use your kids' ages as lottery numbers. Oh, you lucky dog. I want one too. I need to order some. Beaver Jr. said, I'll send it to you. I'll send it so you can show it. You got one of the gas stations? No, I've already ordered them. I have 4 of them coming. I ordered 4 because it was like not much more expensive than ordering 2 of them. So I got 4. I'm going to give one to Legal Mindset. For those of you that think that for some reason we're not cool with each other, Legal Mindset and I are tight as ever, if not tighter than ever. We're still buds. We do all these things. He's just off vacationing in America. I'm here in Korea. We're in different time zones. We're going to hook up as soon as he gets back, and we're going to go out drinking and probably videoing some of that. But I do have a glass for him as well. All righty then. Oh, well, now see, Rosalie Rue says, merch a mega pint glass. I'll tell you, as Legal Vices, I don't need t-shirts, hoodies, hats, mouse pads, pillows, shit like that. What I want to do is I want to merch some Legal Vices shit, ashtrays, lighters, shot glasses, wine glasses, things like that. That's what I want to merch. And I'm searching for sort of a central site that can prepare these on an order by order basis. Because I don't need to buy 5,000 shot glasses, have them sent to Korea, and then send them back out. I just need a place that when I order them, they'll just print them up or make them and then send them out. That would be awesome. That's what I'm looking for. So if anybody knows of a place where we can merge all of these Legal Vices things in one central location on an order by order basis to send out, let me know. Send me an email. My email address is in the description. That would be awesome. Awesome. I said awesome because I read the meth pipes. No, we don't need any Legal Vices meth pipes. The tobacco pipes, on the other hand, would be kind of cool. In China. Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, actually, Legal Vices tobacco pipes. That's one of the Legal Vices things I'm going to do. I have a friend who lives in Finland, who is an amazing pipe maker. He's made several of my pipes, and I've got another one coming on the way. And when I get that, I'll have him on the stream, and we can talk pipes on a Vices part of our Legal Vices stream. Now, all right. Gandalf long pipes. I've got 3 nice long church warden pipes. Do a what, if any, set of 3 shot glasses? Yeah, there's so many things I want to do. There's so many things I want to do as far as merch goes, just decadence merch, you know. But if anybody knows of any place that would do that on an order by order basis, please email me. That would be awesome. All right, I've teased this long enough. We've got off the right Legal Vice wearable mustache. Well, they come though. This like the Groucho Marx. Just buy like the Groucho Marx glasses, nose, and mustache thing here. I did groom it and twirl it a little bit, but it's now margarita'd. All righty. We're going to jump back into the commentary here with a Newsweek article by our beloved Dr. Schmiegel. Any other names? Nosferatu is the one, Legal Mindset, and I came up with. Jeff, look at your picture, damn you. What have I looked? What about my picture? I'm looking at my picture. What about my picture? Okay. Yes. I'm looking at my picture, damn me. Oh, on Twitter. Okay. I'm looking at my picture on Twitter. Aha. That's a picture of the Legal Vices. That would be good for Legal Vices. This is my Beaver's unit. Her ball jar mega pint glass. Awesome. Oh, and there's lots of other things here. We'll have to see if we can get to them. Doormats would be cool. I can't believe you came. That's what she said. That'd be that's nice. Okay, so you got this at a gas station, huh? Nice. Yeah, we need to do this. We need to find someone somewhere where we can do these things. I want to make Legal Vices merch, but I don't want t-shirts, hats, and shit like that. I want ashtrays, lighters, shot glasses, wine glasses, cocktail glasses, rocks glasses. Those are the kind of things that I want to do. That would be much more fun than just shit you're going to put in your cabinet and forget about it. Wait, there was a comment I wanted to read here, but it seems to have escaped me. All righty, Nikki Taylor, Sky High Retriever, send a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. Much, much appreciated. Jeff, this is my Beaver's unit. Never thought I'd hear you say that phrase, mate. Don't get me started. Battery operated toys? No, thanks. Not from me. Yeah. Not necessary in my world. All right. Here we go. Let's get into Dr. Spiegel. Sharing screen, bringing up Dr. Spiegel. Boom. Okay. And for some reason, my microphone has been possessed by Satan, and it has increased the gain on its own. There we go. Back down. Battery operated toys with a mustache. Okay, now you're tempting me. All right. My turn. Newsweek. Dr. David Spiegel. Should I read this in the Dr. Spiegel voice? I testified in the Heard versus Depp trial. The backlash has been horrific. By Dr. David R. Spiegel. Now, there's something in this article that really, really, really triggered me and pissed me the fuck off. This article, and it was just one sentence, but it irritated the shit out of me. I heard the news that Johnny Depp had won his defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard as the verdict was being read on June 1. I was very disappointed. First and foremost, for Mrs. Heard. I was very disappointed, first and foremost, for Miss Heard, who should have received much more of an outpouring of support than she did. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. Spiegel. I've been a practicing psychiatrist for around 30 years and have previously provided medical malpractice witness testimony. Okay. He's provided medical malpractice expert witness testimony. Well, he goes on to say, but before the Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard defamation trial, I had never provided witness testimony in any high-profile case. Okay, I don't know what he would consider to be a high-profile case. I'm assuming he's just been the regular hired gun guy for the last 30 years or however long he's been providing testimony just for any regular random case where people can afford him. I'm going to assume this means this is the first celebrity case he's ever worked on. But we're getting close to the trigger point for me. And while I'm reading through this, please, all of you newcomers and everybody who hasn't yet, just pop on over and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this. Let's get going. I was asked to be an expert witness on this case in 2019. So I've actually been on the case for about 3 years. He's been on the case for 3 years, and he's been privy to every single detail of what's been happening for that period of time. So he's been involved in the case for 3 years, and he knows everything about it. But when I signed on initially, the impression I had was that it would be a closed trial. He's had a lot of wrong impressions about this thing, hasn't he? He's had a lot of wrong impressions. If you go back and watch his testimony, he misunderstood a hell of a lot about this trial. He thought a lot of things that weren't actually the case. So to that, add the fact that he had the impression it would be a closed trial. Don't know why he would have thought that. He thought there wouldn't be cameras and fans in court. Hey, Doc. Sorry to fucking tell you this. You can't keep the public out of the trials. We have a right to be in these trials. It's just a matter of seating. Whether they're fans or enemies, we have a right to see what happens in our courts. Except for in certain very specific situations. Good comment here from BLT. The guy made a damn fool of himself on TV in front of millions and is surprised people are upset at him. GTFOH, you fucking hack. Yep. As Mo said, he doesn't know the difference between puke and ice cream. That was one of the impressions that he was mistaken about. He thought it was vomitous. He thought that Depp had vomited him on himself in the melted ice cream picture. He is a fucking tool. I can't believe he was. I mean, I was less surprised thinking that he had just been recently hired to act as a hired gun expert. But where he's saying he has been involved in this for the past 3 years and knows everything about it, that makes me even more concerned. He has zero idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's been involved and knows every detail of this case for 3 years, and he didn't, for example, know that wasn't vomit in the picture. It was melted ice cream. Yeah, he said the paparazzi outside the courthouse was never a problem. That's something I can handle. But the situation obviously took a different turn once the trial became a national televised event. That said, I had a job to do, and I did my job. Well, he did a job. He did a job on Amber Heard's case. He's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people said she's full of shit. This guy made no sense at all. Move past some ads here. Here's a nice happy smile. If you need implants, please visit this site. Before the trial, okay, this is where I went fucking nuts. This is where I raged out. Before we get there, let's clear these things out. I don't want to be interrupted during my rant. Nikki Taylor, Sky High Retriever, Super Sticker. I think we already did that. If not, thank you for the extra one. Max Mura, hey, welcome, Max. Illegal Vices, Brass Knuckles, novelty only. Yeah, I like that here. Butterfly Knife, novelty only. Nunchucks, novelty only. Brass Knuckles would be cool, but I'm not sure I want my name all over Brass Knuckles. Grow Max, Dog Stream, when? Yeah, I tomorrow or the next day, I'll let the dogs roam around in the background so you have something else to focus on other than me. All right, getting into the triggering sentence here. And I'm going to read this sentence, and then I'm going to pause and give you time to process this and see why the thing drives me up the goddamn wall. Deep breath and proceed to triggering sentence. Before the trial, I had one 50-minute Zoom meeting with Amber Heard, and I had lunch with her between sessions on May 23rd. She was very nice, very cordial, and very polite. Why did that trigger me? Why did that trigger me? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will read this again, and then I will drop out, and then I will bring back a screen to show you exactly why this triggered me to death. This made me so fucking angry today. Before the trial, I had one 50-minute Zoom meeting with Amber Heard. And I had lunch with her between sessions on May 23rd. She was very nice, very cordial, very polite. And some of you are catching it. Some of you are noticing that, and some of you are correct. Here is why that pisses me off to no fucking end.
Now, you went to Mr. Depp's home for dinner and drinks before you were hired as an expert in this case, correct?
That's not quite right. I was interviewed at Mr. Depp's home by his legal team. Dinner was served.
You, in attendance with Mr. Depp was Adam Waldman, correct?
Yes.
Ben Chu, correct?
Yes.
Camille Vasquez?
Yes.
Okay. And the dinner lasted approximately 3 to 4 hours, correct?
Yes.
And it included
interview.
drinks, correct?
Yes. Dinner and I believe drinks were served.
Okay. And this was before you were hired as an expert.
Elaine, you mother, you bitch. You fuck off, Elaine. Here she is grilling Dr. Mommy about meeting with Johnny Depp, eating with Johnny Depp, having drinks with Johnny Depp. Meanwhile, she knows what's going on with her damn witness.
Yes, this was an interview so that they could make an informed decision as to whether or not to retain me.
And don't you think that's a little odd that you're getting interviewed by Mr. Depp to decide whether you're going to testify adversely against Amber Heard?
Don't you think that's odd? You're talking with Johnny Depp about testifying adversely? Fuck you. Fuck you, Elaine. Seriously.
And Mr. Depp was present. It was his home, correct?
Yes.
And
Look at her lean into that. And Mr. Depp was present. It was in Mr. Depp's home, wasn't it? What, if any, fucks off should you give, Elaine?
he was serving dinner and drinks.
He was
Correct.
not serving dinner and drinks.
Well, it was at his house at his behest, correct?
Yes, it was at his house.
Okay. And you were contacted by Camille Vasquez, somebody you knew in the community, in February of 2020. Is that correct?
I knew of Ms. Vasquez professionally. We
God damn it, that makes me mad. That pisses me off royally. That triggered the shit out of me when I read that. I was just sitting in my office, casually, calmly, and politely minding my own business at lunch, reading articles, wondering if I should do a live stream and what I should talk about today. When I read this article, because I thought it would be funny, I thought it would be hilarious that we could all bash on Dr. Spiegel for getting picked on. And then I saw this line that before the trial, I had one 50-minute Zoom meeting with Amber Heard. His testimony had nothing whatsoever to do with Amber Heard, as I recall. It was all about Johnny Depp's problems. Why was he meeting with Amber Heard? Why was he talking to Amber Heard when apparently Dr. Mommy can't talk to Johnny Depp before the trial? My Beavers unit, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. I'm going to ban you for that shit. Okay, yeah, but seriously, Elaine is up there pounding on Dr. Mommy for meeting with Johnny Depp before the trial. Meanwhile, their psychiatrist witness, who was testifying adversely to Johnny Depp on behalf of Amber Heard, met with Amber Heard before the trial in a 50-minute Zoom meeting. I don't give a shit whether it's at their house, on Zoom, or if one side can do it, the other side can do it too. I don't give a fuck about it. But for her to sit and vilify Dr. Mommy, Dr. Curry, and not mention this fact, that's bullshit. Oh, sorry, I'm mispronouncing her name. It's Amber Turd. I apologize. And then they had lunch between her sessions. Elaine goes off the fucking rail and gets really, you had dinner with him, didn't you? You had dinner with Johnny Depp and testifying adversely. Fuck off. Your psychiatrist is over here having lunch with Amber Heard. What's the freaking difference? Is it the time? Is 1 minute or 30 minutes or an hour somehow okay, but 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours isn't? Seriously, Elaine fucking pissed me off. This triggered me. I got pissed. God damn it. Elaine, I didn't think she could piss me off anymore until I read this. Ugh. All right. We're going to continue the article. I vented. It's out of my systems. Huggy says his muffins, not mommy. Stop saying that. Oh, no. She's Dr. Mommy. Dr. Mommy brings the muffins. Dr. Muffins doesn't bring the mommy. Dr. Mommy brings the muffins. All right. While we're here, while we're listening to me read the rest of this article and stroke out possibly on stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. I love y'all. I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate all of the lovely donations you've given so far tonight. I was very comfortable. I still want to read this newsletter. I was very comfortable with the subject matter. I'm well versed on the trauma and substance abuse, and I was well versed in the facts of the case. You were well versed in the facts of the case, except for the ice cream and vomit thing and the other idiot statements you said, including saying he's an idiot. But cross-examination is something you're never fully going to be prepared for. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. You should be prepared for cross-examination. Your lawyers, Amber Heard's lawyers should have sat you down. And run through these things. They should have run mock cross-examinations. That's a thing. They should have had mock trials. If you've seen Suits, you know what's going on here. They should sit the witnesses down and say, okay, this is your testimony. What are you going to testify to? And then they should pound them with questions that the opposing counsel is likely to make. They should aggressively attack their own witness to prepare them for the shitstorm that's going to come to them on cross-examination. To say that you can never be cross-examination is something you're never fully going to be prepared for. I mean, maybe not literally 100% full in that realm of statement, but you should be goddamn well prepared by the time you get on that stand to handle any questions that come at you or be able to deflect them. Because you don't know exactly what they're going to do or say. You should know that. That's the whole point of running through testimonies. Damn it. It wasn't as if I was stunned that I was going to be cross-examined. Well, you shouldn't be stunned you're going to be cross-examined because you've done this so much as an expert witness. You're an expert witness. You should be used to cross-examination by now. Though I was a little uneasy about being on national television. You shouldn't be concerned about the camera. You should be focused on your client. You should be focused on the lawyers. You should be focused on the questions and the cross-examination. You shouldn't be worried about the cameras. You're not there to perform for the cameras. You're there to give testimony on behalf of your client against the other side. That's it. That's the only thing you should be focused on. If you're worried about what's going on TV, that's your own fault, idiot. That's your own fucking fault. What I couldn't prepare for was the reaction of the public. Okay, fair point. I'll give him that point. I just want to pause here on this picture for a bit because I think it's amusing. These are not your fans, Dr. Smeagol. When I left the courthouse, I was told to leave when the witness after me was going because the people in the gallery could not leave at that point. So when I left, they could not follow me to the car. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Dr. Spiegel, who is going to get up out of the gallery in the courtroom to follow your dumbass to your car? They're there to watch the trial, not to follow you to your car. I mean, that's just a stupid thing to say. That's just ridiculous. You're an idiot. You call other people idiots, Dr. Spiegel, but you're an idiot. I might be an idiot, but if I am an idiot, I know what another idiot looks like. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a Dr. Spiegel. You're not so fucking important. People are going to bail on the Johnny Depp trial that they stayed outside from since 1 o'clock in the morning trying to get tickets to get in. They're not going to bail on that to follow you to your car. That's just stupid. And ask me to believe that is just ridiculous. Nobody wanted to follow you. I drove to my hotel, and around an hour later, at about 4 p.m., my wife called me and said, "Listen, I don't want you to look at what's being said." I asked her how horrific it was, and she told me that it was pretty bad. I'm not a social media expert. Apparently you're not a psychology expert either, a psychiatry expert either, but he's not a social media expert. Far from it. So I didn't expect the whole I didn't expect the whole horrific post-trial backflow. It's been a little stunning for me. Susie Long says he's married? Yeah, I'll give him that point. Huggy said, find the lip smacking. That will be funny. Yeah, well, every question started out with and then have you watched the Willy Wonka thing and the thing? Yeah, that was pretty painful. Now, I will give him that he may not have anticipated this, the public reaction. I will give him that. That's unfortunate. But hey, he was a kook up there, and it was funny, and it's funny as hell to see and make memes and to talk about it. Sorry, that's just the shit that happens. Maybe if you had a great client and didn't look like an asshole on the stand and misunderstand so much of the evidence and what was happening, maybe it would have been a little better for you. I don't see, Camille or Dr. Mommy. Yes, Dr. Mommy, not Dr. Muffins, because Mommy brings the muffins. I don't see them complaining about the horrific backlash they've faced from the trial because they were credible. They were strong. They were on it. They were ready. So, sorry, Doc. It's been a little stunning for me. I would imagine it has. Again, in fairness, I would imagine it's been a little bit stunning for him. The volume of it. From the personal attacks on who I am and what I present like. Let's take a drink. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the margarita, and I have nothing within arm's length to replace it with. So I'm going dry for the rest of the stream, and that's not going to make me a happy camper. All right, the volume of it, from the personal attacks on who I am and what I present like. You presented like an idiot, dude. As we've said with all the and the expressions. Well, the expressions like the one above here, and there's another one down below somewhere. But yeah, you presented like shit. You didn't present like a polished expert witness, which leads to these semi-conspiracy theories that perhaps they called the wrong witness. It's I can't help the way you present. If you're an expert witness and you've been testifying in numerous trials as an expert witness, you should have your presentation polished. Dr. Curry was polished. A lot of other witnesses were polished. God damn it. Stop with this Elaine's chain bang stuff. Stop it. Otherwise, you will see vomitus on me, not ice cream. You can't present any word. I mean, honest to God, Dr. Spiegel's presentation and how he presented was one of the worst witnesses I think I have ever seen testify in my life, just from a pure how he presented to the jury. I mean, it was truly awful. And if you want to see, go back and watch the video. Yuck. All right. Let's get back to the article here. What I presented like to what I look like and say, well, you said dumb shit. It was obviously a little hurtful. I'm sure it was hurtful. And I'm sorry it was hurtful. But you brought it on yourself. Dude, you're an expert witness. And as you say, you've testified in so many of these other trials and things. You should know how to act on the stand. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for anybody on Amber Heard's team anymore after I gave Elaine the benefit of the doubt and then she shit on me by going on all of the, well, she shit on the bed anyway, along with Amber, going on all of these talk shows and throwing the jury and the judge under the bus. So fuck everybody on Amber Heard's team. I'm done with it. I don't care about them. I feel sorry for zero of them. I deal with people for a living. So I tried to understand where people were coming from. They were coming from the fact that you are testifying on behalf of a shitty person in a shitty trial about shitting on the bed by a shitty lawyer and giving shitty testimony. That's where people are coming from. It's what a psychiatrist does. But the comments below the YouTube videos of me have been vile. Tell you what, don't read them. If you know you're coming off like an idiot, don't read them. There are countless actors, there are countless people that don't read comments about them, that don't read reviews because they know there's trollers out there. They know there's shit out there. They know that there's just going to be idiots that are doing nothing other than saying stuff to trigger you and set you off. Either suck it up and ignore it or don't freaking read it. That's it. That's all. And how I know you're enjoying this is by liking and subscribing. Please click like and subscribe while we're doing this. That would be awesome. And share the video if you are so inclined. Continuing the grift and continuing the article. And, comma, some people have access to my work email. So I've gotten 4 or 5 charming editorials about myself. Oh, yeah, poor fucking baby. You've got 4 or 5 emails out of it. Holy crap. You should see my email inbox, Doc. Good God. I've gotten 4 or 5 charming editorials about myself. All right. My WebMD has now been closed to comments. I hate things like Yelp and WebMD and shit like that because it can be hijacked so easily. I think those types of services should just go away. Really, I do. I'm sorry his WebMD page has now been closed, but that's the shit that people can do. But if you've looked at the site beforehand, there were probably 7 or 8 reviews. And all of a sudden on May 23rd, on Monday, May 23rd and Tuesday, May 24th, there were hundreds. So it was pretty obvious what had happened. Well, yeah. It is pretty obvious what happened. It's all about you. You got there, you gave shitty testimony, horrible testimony. You presented horribly. You acted horribly. You gave horrible takes. You looked like an idiot. You talked like an idiot. And you even called other people an idiot. So yeah, sorry. I'm an adult. It's not the first time I've been criticized, but never like that. But never like that. On Monday and Tuesday, I had what I describe as an emotional concussion. It wasn't physical. I didn't get hit on the head. Well, fuck, if he'd got hit on the head, that would at least explain some of his testimony a little bit better. At least he'd have an excuse. Sorry for being an absolute tool, but I was hit on the head. That would make sense. It wasn't physical. I didn't get hit on the head. It was emotional because the feedback afterwards left me a little on the numb and dazed side. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit he was a little on the numb and dazed side before he ever took the fucking stand. Yeah, I would say he was dazed and confused before he got on the stand. I slept a lot on Monday and Tuesday. I was originally going to take a vacation to see my son in New York on May 25th and then come back to Virginia on May 31. Instead, I started my vacation a day early. Oh, well. Gee, I was so traumatized, I took an extra day vacation. I started my vacation a day early. Okay. Hey, boss, my vacation's coming up at the end of July. I'm traumatized. Can I start my vacation early, please? I don't think that's going to fly. Fortunately, I have had a lot of support from my family, and even my patients have been emailing me. Well, good for him. I'm glad he's getting support from somebody. He needs it. And the good news is that my residents and faculty members all support me. They texted me and had "We're with Dr. Spiegel" t-shirts made for me. Dr. Spiegel, me to you, bro. Forget everything I just said about you, by the way. I want one of the original We're with Dr. Spiegel t-shirts. I desperately want a We're with Dr. Spiegel t-shirt. One of the original ones, not a knockoff, not a reprint. I want one of the original ones. So if you have a particularly fat person that doesn't want their t-shirt anymore, doctor, give it to me. I will take it. Troglodyte says, we're with the other Dr. Spiegel. We're with the other more qualified, better looking, probably more prepared Dr. Spiegel that may have been confused with this Dr. Spiegel. But I seriously want a We're with Dr. Spiegel t-shirt. One of the original ones, mind you. During my career, I have dealt with people who are not guilty of murder by reason of insanity. And I've dealt with people who are psychotic and have threatened to kill me. And it never fazed me one iota. But this did. You start realizing that it really just takes one person who is not seeing things right. So someone says, I'm psychotic and I'm going to kill you. That doesn't faze him, but okay. All right. Forget that. Let's move on to more lunacy. I don't think I was paranoid to the point that I was shutting the blinds. I just shut the blinds because I hate people and I don't want them looking in my house. But my eldest daughter is still in my house in Virginia. And as ridiculous as it sounds, I have a pit bull. What if his pit bull's as stupid as he is? I love my dog. She's a great dog, but she's still a pit bull at heart. This was probably the first time I ever thought in my life, thank God I have a pit bull. Am I glad that my pit bull is there with my daughter? Yes, I am. I don't think my dog would harm anybody, but she should be intimidating. Now, if anybody out there is going to Dr. Spiegel's house and threatening him or throwing eggs at his house, or don't fucking do that. Leave the witnesses alone. They're just doing their job. They're hired guns. But I'm willing to suspect that Dr. Spiegel's house is not the first stop on the let's go bother people dealing with this trial train. But he's got a pit bull, so be careful. Solon the Lich asks, what the F is this article? This is the article by Dr. Spiegel himself that was in Newsweek, as you can see at the top. All right. I would have liked... Okay. Now, this is what he wished Johnny Depp would have done. I would have liked Mr. Depp to get ahead of this and to have said, listen, I understand that you're upset, but there are ways to express how to be upset. He wanted Johnny Depp to send a message to all of his fans and all of his minions and all of the legions of people that are doing his internet bidding. Dr. Spiegel wanted him to say, please be nice to Amber Heard's psychiatrist, expert witness that is trying to tear the shit out of me on the stand. Be nice to him. He wanted Johnny Depp to say that. Get the fuck out of here, Dr. Spiegel. Why on earth would Johnny Depp tell anybody, let alone his fans or people who are just watching the trial, to be nice to the guy that's trying to tear him apart on the stand? Listen, I understand you're upset, but there are ways to express how to be upset. The fact that he hasn't probably says potential volumes about him. Yeah, it says he fucking hates your guts for testifying bullshit against him and representing and testifying on behalf of his arch nemesis that defamed him. Yeah, it says a lot that he hates your guts. Why would he have anything to do with you? Why would he help you out in any way, shape, or form? Ms. Heard hasn't come out and said anything either. But my opinion is that she is the most vulnerable person in this situation. Not if you believe mainstream media. Amber Heard is the queen bitch of the universe. She's the one that is the victim in all of this. Remember, according to mainstream media, she should come out and say, please be nice to him. You may hate me, but please be nice to him. But she hasn't, because she's vulnerable. If I had groupies, Dr. Spiegel, you do not have, nor will you ever have groupies. But if, for the sake of argument, let's say you had groupies. If I had groupies and I saw them attacking and harassing someone they don't know, I would have said what I said during the trial, that there are ways to express dissatisfaction and there are ways not to. I think when Mr. Depp first noticed this behavior from his fans, again, he's assuming that these people are his fans. Maybe they are his fans. I'm sure a ton of them are his fans, but some of them may just agree with him without being his fans. But when Mr. Depp first noticed this behavior from his fans, he should have redirected their emotions. That is some grade A, government inspected, certified psychobabble. Johnny Depp should have redirected their emotions. While I still feel this intervention would be welcomed, his fans may be disarmed by the verdict in his favor. Though since the verdict, I have received a piece of derogatory mail to my professional address and one rude phone call that was fielded by my staff. Okay, he's writing this article about all of the horrific, terrifying, horrifying backlash he suffered as a result of this. And he mentioned he's got 4 or 5 emails to his professional email address. Now he adds one piece of derogatory mail to his address and one rude phone call. That's, I mean, in my opinion, to be frank and honest, that's too many. That's one piece of derogatory mail too many and one phone call too many. Leave him alone. Just, that's not it. But that's what he had. That's how traumatized he is by all of this. People say mean things about him on YouTube and the internet. And he got a couple of pieces of mail and a phone call. Ooh, sorry. I've been almost totally offline since May 23rd. Doesn't sound like it. And I told my wife and kids before the trial to get off their personal websites and social media platforms for at least a week. And 2 weeks after the trial. Who cares about his kids? Yeah, I mean, wait. My Beavers unit said, I need your response or I'll faint. Oh, God, now I got to go back and find out what the hell you want me to respond to. I wasn't paying attention. I was ranting. Sorry. Is this it? He does have groupies. He does have groupies. It would be Elaine and her chain gang. If that's what you want me to respond to, I am not responding to anything about chain gangs, chain bangs, or anything that has anything to do with Elaine in the sentence. Oh, dear God. What would happen as outcome of a matrimonial alliance between Elaine and Spiegel? Thank fuck they are too old to produce offspring together. Ugh. Yeah. In their younger days, that would maybe something that we could just ponder as sort of as a mutant horror movie. But now, thank God, there would be no offspring. Ugh. But it's probably still is a little bit hurtful for them to see the attacks on me and for the patients I've had relationship with for years. You just said all of your patients support you, so that negates that argument. And we're running to the end of the article here. There's potential for professional fallback. I don't think it's going to be that 80% of my patients will stop seeing me, but I do think some will. You said they were all behind you. Are they all behind you? You said they were all behind you, but now you're saying that 80% maybe will stick with you? Well, I don't know well enough. They might. Some of my patients that have suffered from IPV have reached out to me and expressed that Ms. Heard's testimony was cathartic. Yeah, probably because they realized that she was full of shit and that it validated their legitimate experiences. But I've never asked my patients what they think about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. So there may be people who, if they think it's that important and they don't know me that well, may drop out. I'm also applying for the position of permanent chair of the department at my med school. It's not like I think the comments from the general population would affect anything. I'm not going to lose my job, and we don't want him to lose his job. Wherever he's at, they probably deserve him because they are letting him stay there. I'm not going to lose my job, but will the whole circus around the trial make me look more or less like a serious academic? I don't know. Probably less like a serious academic. My thought has always been that before we choose a hero or star, it's important to remember that we don't know them. We know their persona. That's why it's always better to pick a hero you know, like a family member or a teacher. Well, thank you, Mr. fucking Rogers Neighborhood. Then you know them a little more than you know this person you've never spoken to in your life. Just let this picture sit here for a minute. Soak that in. Soak it in. Imagine that rutting with Elaine, producing offspring. I would say that people have attacked me that just like they don't know Mr. Depp, they don't know me. This is my career. This is what I do. I'm an emotions guy. So I have no problem with people expressing emotion. But I have people expressing emotion that is hurtful and harmful. Expressions apparently cannot be hurtful and harmful because that was the whole gist of the Amber Heard's lawyers' assertions, where the free speech is free speech and we should be able to say anything we want. But I have people expressing emotions that are hurtful and harmful, whether it be words or the tons of memes I've seen that are supposed to look like me when I'm testifying. No, they do look like you when you're testifying. And I thought you said you'd been offline since 23rd. You've seen tons of memes about you, but you've been offline since the 23rd of May. Something's not sitting there right, Dr. Smeagol. Yeah, I don't think you're telling the truth about one or the other. I'm finding that you lack credibility. I would ask people to remember that there are appropriate ways that you can say you are dissatisfied with my testimony, or that it may have been short-sighted. I'm an expert at this. It's not like I saw one clip of Mr. Depp and then said, oh, let me judge this. No, you watched his movie roles. You watched his characters he was portraying in movies, and you determined his mental acuity, his response time, and things based on characters he was portraying in movies. You never spoke to him. You never talked to him. You never analyzed him. It's not like I saw one clip of Mr. Depp and said, oh, let me judge this. No, you saw movie clips and judged him based on the fucking characters he was portraying. You're an idiot. Now, I wish Amber Heard emotional healing in a scenario where she was perceived by the general population as a villainous with a vomitus. The trial was, in many ways, an excellent experience for me. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it was an excellent experience for you. If it had just been the work I did that led up to it, the trial and the cross-examination, if it had ended in a bubble, I would have said that I'd 100% be an expert witness in a high-profile case again. Now I'm 60-40 leaning towards no. That's weird. That's just a weird thing to say. Usually if someone says, okay, would you ever do this again? Based on what you know now, would you ever be involved in a similar situation again? Most people would say yes or no. Well, I'm leaning 60-40 towards no. Okay. And we end the article with these words from Dr. David R. Spiegel. Never in my life have I been the target of such voluminous amounts of hate ever. I will process the emotion, but it will always be there. The knowledge that I was on the receiving end of such venom. Dr. Spiegel. Bless you. How will you ever get through the memes? How will you ever get through the 4 or 5 emails you got? How will you ever get through the 1 snail mail you got? How will you ever get through the 1 disgruntled telephone call you got? I'm so sorry for you. Leave Dr. Spiegel alone. God dang. All right, we are way behind on some comments here. So let's crank through these real quick here. Jason, thank you so much for the donation. You are awesome. You rock. What's your opinion on neat versus on the rocks? I am almost always a whiskey neat guy. Sometimes if I want to explore the flavors a little bit, kind of get a little bit deeper into them, I'll add a little bit of water to them just to kind of open it up a bit. The only time I ever purposely put whiskey on the rocks is either when it's a really, really bad whiskey and I want to water it down a little bit, or when it's in the hottest part of the summer and I just want a cooler drink. And then I'll use a really high proof alcohol so that the ice cools it and dilutes it a little bit. Carlos Estrada, welcome. Thank you so much again. As always, I appreciate your donations. In hindsight, it's interesting how Amber claimed media trash talking her when she went to get the TRO, and yet her publicist tipped TMZ who took pics. Yeah, that's part of her credibility issue now, isn't it? Amanda Sparkle, welcome, Amanda. Again, this was the comment that I just found interesting. I wanted to highlight. Elaine has some serious issues with people mixing food with business. From dinner to muffins, there's no food in business. I just like that comment and wanted to highlight it. Kyle Mitchell, if Spiegel read Muffin's assessment, he would know Amber can be nice for the 2 hours or less he spent with her. Good point. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. But you made a very good point there. DX Ghostly, thank you for the donation. Mr. Dennison was a sniper from the side. Loved his cross. Yeah, Mr. Dennison, who also works at the at Camille and Chu's firm. Yeah, he was the guy that would just ride in. He was like in Dark Souls, the NPC that you can summon for the boss fight. The boss expert comes. You read his summoning sign, and then he just kind of appears, attacks, kills, and then disappears back into his own realm. I like Dennison. He was sharp. Apple Pie, thank you so much. You're always so generous. They should have prepared their witnesses. You're talking about the team who objected to their own questions on the digital expert because they opened the door themselves. True. I am asking the people who objected to their own question to prepare their witnesses. Sorry, my bad. You're correct. Mo, thank you so much. If he didn't anticipate it, why did he tell his wife and kids not to look at social media a week before the trial and 2 weeks after? And if he did anticipate it and he hasn't looked at it since he was on the stand, how does he know all the shit's going on? Something's not right there. I don't believe him. Yvonne De Silva, when you've reached a certain level in society and have been educated to a certain level, you would hope that common sense is part of what you'd be taught to use. I guess not. It's just sad for him. Yeah, I would have said it was sad for him a while ago, but I've given up feeling sad for anybody. Claire, thank you so much for the donation. You rock. You're awesome. Pro tip from Wolfie that I liked. If you don't want to gather infamy, don't call a huge movie star an idiot and make baseless claims that he might be a domestic abuser. Fair enough. Electro Beard, thank you. Being in Korea, does anyone ever say you look like Master Roshi from Dragon Ball? No one has ever said that, but way too many people have said that I look like Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken from KFC. Claire Wilson, thank you for the laugh. Not sure which laugh that was, but you're welcome. And I'm glad at least one person in the 554 that are still here have laughed at me. Laughed with me. Hope you're not laughing at me. I love Scotch, $1. I love Scotch too. Thank you so much. All right. Now, again, I've tried to capture all of these super chats and super like things. If I have missed any, I sincerely regret it, and I'm sorry. I'm always striving to get all of these, but the way that the Backstage StreamYard streaming service handles super chats is absolutely shitty. It's ridiculous, it's bad, it's horrible, and it needs to be killed with fire. But until it's replaced with something better, this is kind of how I have to do it. So I'm doing my best, and I apologize if there's anything that hasn't worked out. Again, I'm not deliberately trying to miss things. I'm just kind of an idiot sometimes. So, all right, well, those are the two big things I wanted to hit today. And it's been like an hour and 45 minutes. So, I don't really, I mean, I can go read a bunch of other articles, but it's more of the same crap. The other two articles I were going to look at was one that was titled Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and Us. Rather than repeating #MeToo mantras, let's learn a thing or two about domestic violence. That was one article from the Daily News I was going to read. And the other article was something called Johnny Depp, Amber Heard verdict redefines victimhood that's relevant to the post-truth era. And I just didn't feel like raging anymore. So I wasn't going to do that. Sweet Arts, thank you so much and welcome. Thank you for the super sticker. Well, that was the highlights for the day. That sort of summarizes everything that came down over the weekend. I mean, we've got that wonderful article by Natalie. It's going around, just making its rounds through the internet, and she made some very strong, very powerful points. The jury did their job. The jury analyzed and reviewed the evidence that was presented to them in a professional manner. And that was the only decision they could have reached. And I completely agree with that statement. That's the only decision that they could have made if they saw the evidence, paid attention to the witnesses, and analyzed it. And the fact that it took them a few days to reach that decision shows me how carefully they reviewed the evidence and how seriously they took their jobs. So to throw them under the bus, fuck you. Fuck you, Elaine. Fuck you. That's a shitty thing to do. And it's a dangerous, dangerous path to go down, which is why I think she shut up and stopped saying this bullshit on television. And to throw the judge under the bus is incredibly stupid. That wins you no friends, especially in a jurisdiction where you have to continue to work, live, and testify, and operate as a lawyer. My Beavers unit says, "Show chat my awesome floor mat." All right. Here you are asking me to do technical stuff. This could go off the rails very, very quickly. All right, let's see. My Beavers unit sent me more photos. I like the color one. We'll use the... Wait, what is... Okay, there's a GIF here that I'm being sent. I can't see because my screen is so small. Oh my God. My Beavers unit sent me a picture that she said would be the offspring of Dr. Spiegel and Elaine. If I'm not mistaken by this tiny GIF that came through, that is a Sontaran from Doctor Who. That is fucking hilarious. Okay. All right. Let's bring up the placemat. I mean the floor mat here. I'm going to do my best. Let's see if we can bring this up without crashing my entire system because I'm an idiot. Sharing screen, sharing. All right. This is her mat with the hillbilly mug on it. I can't believe you came. That's what she said. Okay. Are you happy, my Beavers unit? Got to keep the mods happy. See, look at that. Because you made me do that, 2 people unsubscribed. I blame you. All right. That's her floor mat. And I like the Santarin deal that you sent. That was good. Yvonne De Silva says that sure, Mike deserves to be closer to your mouth. Yeah. Well, any closer to my mouth, and it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Who have you since I was a kid? I mean, like a little kid, like way back in the day, like the end of the Pertwee, beginning of Baker, long ago, is how long I've been a Doctor Who fan. Because I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I'm a dork. That's it. There's my Beavers unit, one of my mods, showing how classy she is. And again, Rose and all of my mods, you guys rock. You're awesome. Solon says disavow, unsubscribe. Oh God, guys. The other floor mat is Pennywise? I didn't see a Pennywise floor mat. You didn't send me a Pennywise floor mat. All right. Anyway, next time, send me the Pennywise floor mat, and I'll put it up next time, because I owe all of my mods amazing amounts of love for the incredible job they do for an idiot like me. And at this point, we're kind of coming to the end now. Again, that's all I wanted to do today. Just take it a little bit easy. Coming up later this week, I haven't decided. It'll probably be Thursday. No, it'll probably be Friday. I'm thinking Friday, because it's the weekend. I'll do a long reading of part of, and if it doesn't get all handled in one, it'll be broken up into a 2-part reading of Marilyn Manson's complaint against Rachel Wood, I believe is her name. Evan Wood. Oh, there's the Pennywise mat. All right. The fact that any of you are still here is amazing. So let's share her Pennywise mat. Why do you need more than one doormat? I guess you got a front door and a back door. I don't know. I only have one door in my house. So, all righty. There is the Pennywise mat. That's pretty cool. Actually, I do like that. Yvonne De Silva says we need a show with you and Legal Mindset on living in Korea. We'll probably be doing doing some drinking excessively in Korea vids. He'll be back here in a week or so, so we'll be in the same time zone again and can do them things. Again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that was here, to all of you that liked the video, to all of you that subscribed, and as a fuck you to those of you that unsubscribed. We're at a net minus 12 today, but hey, I don't care, because that's not why I'm here. I just like to see the subscriptions. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I would be honored. I would love it. And thank all of you who are here now listening to me, all of you who are here viewing, all of you who stuck with me through this whole thing. We'll be back. We'll do it again later. We'll do other things. And until then, take care. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your day, your night, your afternoon, whatever. And above all, enjoy your legal vices. Until we meet again.